If you have seen Dragon Ball Z, you may have heard of Frieza and his cooler looking brother, Cooler, who appeared in the DBZ movie continuity and gave Goku a series of tough fights to say the least. I mean, this dude didn't give a f***. As soon as he landed, it was on sight. He tried to kill Goku's kid in front of him, he nearly kills him, he shoots his homie Piccolo, and even kills a random ass bird. This dude was just ruthless. But even after he took an L, he came back, he choked out Goku, kicked Vegeta in the and arguably had the closest villain victory in the entire movie series. I mean, he literally KO'd his ops every time. Did Broly knock out Goku? Hell no. Did Janemba do it? No. Yeah, they did Savage on them of course, but did they actually secure as many KOs as Cooler did in the series? Nope. All I'm saying is, this dude was very efficient until he wasn't and underestimated the Saiyans. He may have not been the strongest of the movie villains, as that title goes more sort of Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan or Janemba, but he showcased amazing potential and power that deserves to be commended. But what if such an insane powerhouse was granted the same form that allowed Frieza to one-tap true Ultra Instinct Goku and Ultra Ego Vegeta with ease? What if Cooler had trained and achieved the black form? Would he only be a bit stronger than Frieza? Or would he be able to obtain an immense level of power that could surpass, if not rival, the gods of destruction? So in this video, we'll quickly go over how strong Cooler is, what he's capable of, and estimate what kind of threat he would be with this insane transformation by analyzing him through a composite overview. For starters, Cooler was powerful enough to somewhat brawl with, but ultimately get his ass beat by base Goku, who he commands multiple times throughout the movie. First off, after Cooler hits Goku with an energy attack that was meant to be fatal, Goku manages to endure it, with Cooler being impressed by this showing and already having thoughts about it being possible that such a Saiyan could have actually defeated his brother. Second, after tussling with base Goku for a bit, he comments once again that Goku wasn't strong enough to take care of Frieza. One could argue that Cooler could simply be underestimating his brother, but he firsthand knows how strong he can be. So, if he thought base Goku could have already given his brother some hands, this tells us that Goku is far more powerful than he was in the mainline series during the same time period. And this is further proven by Master Roshi stating that Goku grew stronger after his scuffles on Namek. Even if you want to downplay and say that Cooler was referring to Frieza's early forms or a suppressed state of power, it is still likely that Movie 5 Goku would be able to handle Final Form Frieza far better than he did in the Namek Saga. But as a highball, we'll assume that base Goku could have taken on 50% and 100% Frieza, who had a power level of about 120 million as proven by Daizenshu 7. Keep this number in mind as it'll be important later on. After Cooler transformed into his final form, which looks awesome, he overwhelmed Goku by punching him into the water, straight up styling on him, and slamming him down with his big ass feet. Even after Goku tapped into Kaioken, which we don't know what number he used, but if he used Kaioken times 20, it's absolutely insane because even then, Cooler just decimated the poor man and surfed through his Kamehameha no problem, leaving Goku with little hope of victory. Furthermore, it is confirmed by a V-Jump magazine that Final Form Cooler's power level was about 470 million, making him about 3.9 times stronger or roughly 4 times stronger than 100% Final Form Frieza, and slightly more than 3 times stronger than Super Saiyan Namek Saga Goku. Although this is not a strict rule, it seems that in the world of Dragon Ball, a character can be at least 1.1 times stronger than an opponent to overwhelm them. And a great example of this is when Vegeta after a Zenkai, with a power level of 24,000, absolutely d***s on Dodori with a power level of 22,000. So we simply multiply Cooler's power by 1.1 times, and get Super Saiyan Goku's power level of 517 million, which divided by 50 would make Goku's base form about 10.34 million in Movie 5, if you want to use this scan. In other words, base Goku in Movie 5 can somewhat tussle with 10% Frieza more or less, whose power level would be 12 million. Assuming that Cooler is referring to 100% Frieza as a highball, then base Goku's power level would be 120 million give or take, multiply that by 20, which Cooler was able to overwhelm quite easily, and we have an overwhelming power level of 2.4 billion for Final Form Cooler. Although Cooler was defeated by Super Saiyan Goku, which offers a 50 times multiplier, this infers that Cooler is at least between 30 to 40 times stronger than base Goku. So, by using a low ball and a high ball, we can get Final Form Cooler's power level to be between 470 million and at least over 2.4 billion, but likely much higher. In other words, between 4 times and 20 times stronger than Final Form Frieza. And remember, Since the movies take place in a different dimension to that of the mainline anime, their power attributes do not have to match up, or make sense. Luckily for Goku, his anger towards Cooler's destruction and harm to his friends awakened the golden glow of the legendary Super Saiyan state, which allowed Goku to make quick work of him and blast him into the sun with a potent Kamehameha, seemingly ending the threat of the Emperor once and for all. But of course, Cooler did not end up being vaporized by the sun as hoped for by Goku. In fact, Cooler bonded with the Big Gate A Star supercomputer and became Meta-Cooler, the teal-armored badass who managed to make a laughingstock out of an even stronger Goku and Vegeta, proving to be such an immense threat that both Super Saiyans had to exhaust their insane levels of power to just kill one of his billions of clones. Oh yeah, did I mention that he could make 10 billion Meta-Coolers as implied by the Japanese movie title? Even if we take it as a hyperbole, the Big Gate A Star is clearly powerful enough to pump out hundreds and not thousands of copies of the Teal Emperor, and this is further implied by a statement that states that either the Big Gate A Star or Meta-Cooler himself have infinite mechanical power. Which, yeah, you can take it with a grain of salt, or in other words, see it as a hyperbole, which is fair. But if we take it at face value, it could be used to argue that Cooler could wipe out everything in the infinite living universe, given enough time and resources, if he truly does have infinite power, or the Big Gate A Star itself has infinite power. I mentioned this in videos before, but Cooler performs one of the most insane speed feats of all time, and manages to track and catch Goku in the middle of instant transmission. And it's even confirmed by the TV anime guide, Dragon Ball Z Son Goku Densetsu, that Cooler and Goku were fighting in a space that transcends time, i.e., they were fighting at immeasurable speeds. And the even more insane part, they were doing this feat while Goku was in base, so multiply his power by 50 times, and Meta-Cooler is over 50 times faster than baseline immeasurable speeds. Now at the golden form on top of his absolute unit, and we have ourselves an insane contender, given that Frieza became infinitely stronger after becoming golden, as confirmed by the Revival of Frieza movie promotional website. Which, in other words, allowed Frieza to become a mere starbuster, to scaling well beyond the power of Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and of course, Super Saiyan God Goku, who while suppressed was going to be able to wipe out the entire macrocosm in his battle with Beerus, which for reference is composed of multiple infinite time-space continuums, such as the Living Universe, Hell, Heaven, the Kaioshin Realm, and the Demon Realm. With the universe being confirmed to be infinite or endless in the Daizenshu 4 World Guide, and Heaven being as wide as it is, yet the afterlife still being so huge that it can logically hold a large number of heavens, or in other words, can fit multitudes of infinitely sized planets. Additionally, being able to destroy the macrocosm would logically require more than baseline 5D power, given that Beerus' own power was outright stated to transcend dimensions in Chozenshu 4, which makes great sense given that destroying the afterlife would also be a higher dimensional feat due to the fact that this realm is called dimensionally transcendent to the living universe in Daizenshu 4. Super Saiyan God Goku's scuffle with Beerus is also called a superdimensional battle in V-Jump. This is not mentioning that unlike Frieza, Cooler didn't even have to train to achieve Golden, since during the Dragon Ball Heroes anime, Cooler proceeds to shoot out the form easily, simply because according to him, anything his little brother can do, he could do as well, and seemingly with no drawbacks. Cooler, of course, even goes to further heights and becomes able to stack his golden form with his Meta-Cooler state, which allowed him to tussle with and defeat Super Saiyan 3 Cumber, who in base was able to brawl with Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Vegeta post-Tournament of Power, making him over 400 times stronger than him at bare minimum. So talk about an insane power creep. You could even argue that base Meta-Cooler is over 400 times stronger since he was in control for most of the fight and was overwhelming Super Saiyan 3 Cumber, but he merely overheated because of the insane amp he put on his body, which the Big Gate A Star was likely not used to. The interesting thing here is that since Cumber has access to a full power Super Saiyan 3 form, it can be argued that he has a much higher multiplier than a standard Super Saiyan 3. This is due to the fact that in El Manga Legendario, an officially licensed guide, states that Super Saiyan Grade 3, the form that Trunks used against Perfect Cell, made him 10 times stronger than a Super Saiyan, perhaps it even talking about Super Saiyan Grade 2, which already amplifies the user's battle power by over 50 times. And this statement is also in the French translation. If full power or Super Saiyan Grade 4 offers a power on par if not superior to Super Saiyan Grade 3, then a mastered / full power Super Saiyan 3 would offer something superior to something like a theoretical Super Saiyan 3, Grade 2, 3, and 4. All I'm saying is, if Meta-Cooler was handling that in base, and you stack a golden boost on top of it, then he'd be insanely powerful. Another funny way to look at it is going by a joke power level given in an interview with Ryusei Nakao, in which he was asked what he thought Golden Frieza's power level was, with which he responded it would be 500 quintillion, which is a pun of nice guy. But hey, if we took this literally and tried to estimate how much of a multiplier he got, well, it would be about over 833 billion times multiplier, given that 100% Final Form Frieza's power level was 120 million. The Universe 2 takes this wank a step further by portraying an amped Metacooler as being on par with amped Golden Frieza. Although there is no official Mastered Ultra Instinct multiplier, it is at least superior to Potara and Metamorph fusions, being that Xeno Goku was largely impressed and shocked by Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku's level of power, as he casually handled the weakened Cumber, who was previously making a laughingstock of Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Vegito. Not to mention, Ultra Instinct Goku was even ranked alongside Super Saiyan 4 Xeno Vegito and Cumber as the strongest characters of the Prison Planet arc, which is insane given that Xeno Vegito is composed of two Saiyans whose base power levels are far superior to that of the Dragon Ball Super Saiyans. In fact, the Super Dragon Ball Heroes 8th Anniversary Guide even further confirms that until MUI Goku appeared, that Xeno Vegeta was the strongest fighter, basically confirming that Ultra Instinct is clearly a Fusion Plus level boost. So, take the previous power levels for Cooler, and if we're just talking about Black on top of his final form, and assuming he trained to be comparable to Frieza's final form in his fourth form, he'd be between 4 and 20 times stronger than Black Frieza. In other words, he'd basically be able to one-tap Ultra Instinct Goku with Kaioken times 20. So, he'd easily be able to slap Black Frieza, Cell Max, and Beast Gohan all in one fell swoop, and that's not even including his Meta Cooler boost as well. Although I don't think Cooler would be able to out the Black form like he did with the Golden State, I do think he would be able to achieve the form with far less training, as he does have more potential than his Frost Demon brethren. All I'm saying is, Beerus would have to watch his back. Other than that though, what did you think of the video? Do you agree with my reasoning? Do you think Black Cooler would be stronger or weaker than this? Please let me know, and thank you for watching, Thoughties. Peace out.